Hello, everyone. Live from Ottawa tonight. I wanted to go over the events of the day and what we have planned for tomorrow and some information that's coming together and what we're working on moving forward. So today I started off the day with a trip over to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities headquarters, where the Partners for Climate Protection program works out of. And this is a program that is drafting all of our municipal plans and official plans based on sustainable development, which is actually driving us all off our land and into the cities, or what they call settlement areas. So I'm going to show you a video of my little walk around there, and then a few pictures of today's events and what we have planned for tomorrow. And then I'll end the show by showing you a 10-minute deputation that you can do in your municipality. And we're working on getting that. The template is already there for everyone, but every day it gets upgraded and better and better. So if you want to follow this work, definitely go to my Substack, Gather 2030, listed below, and you will be updated on all of that. And I did have a meeting tonight. I didn't send out an invitation because I'm in Ottawa, but I just wanted to double check at 7 to make sure that I wasn't missing anyone. And we ended up having one lady from the West Coast there, and me and her had a great conversation. So I recorded that, and I can share that with you too. And that way you guys can have that information on how to check and see if your municipality is partnered with UN directive programs, such as Partners for Climate Protection Program, and what you can do to help your council and your municipality get out of that. So with that, I won't keep you waiting here. I'm going to share my screen and show you my investigation of the UN headquarters, otherwise known as the Federation of Canadian Municipalities headquarters in Ottawa this morning. So let me take you there. And I'll make this big screen. Good morning, everyone. I am in a very important place, and I wanted to share this with you. It's my first time coming here, and hopefully a few people can jump on and join me. I am in Ottawa, and I'm at the Partners for Climate Protection Program headquarters. This is the operation center for the United Nations, working through ICLEI Canada in collaboration with the government of Canada. And I took a little walk around, so I'm going to point out some really interesting things. You will notice that the American Embassy is right behind me, so really close to this location. And I'll flip the camera here. This is their parking lot. Lots of signs saying 24-hour surveillance and private parking only. So I'm going to walk you down to the entrance, and I just wanted to note that all the windows on the bottom floor are closed. The curtains are closed, so you can't see in. And this is the front door. So it says that they're open Monday through Friday, through Thursday, and close Friday and Sunday. So I didn't realize that. So this is the headquarters in Ottawa of the Partners for Climate Protection Program, for whoever just joined. And so now we know if we want to get their attention, we need to be here Monday through Thursday. The only way you can get in is you have to use the intercom. So not super accessible. It says here that the headquarters of the Federation of the Canadian Municipalities was established in 1937 and was opened April 16th, 1986 by President Ron Cromwell in the presence of representatives of municipal and provincial government and the Government of Canada. And there it is in French. And of course, this is leadership in energy and environment design. So for those just joining, we're down here in Ottawa. We are at the headquarters for where the United Nations works through ICLEI Canada with the Canadian government to partner with our local municipalities. So we've been on to this Partners for Climate Protection program that seems to be bringing all the climate action plans and gender diversity plans into our municipalities. About 500 municipalities have partnered with them, but the next step really, I think, is looking at the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and I'm pretty sure that it's not mandatory to be a member of that organization, so we want to get our municipalities onto that, and I have something really interesting to show you. So I just showed you the front door and the parking lot, high security. Again, the whole bottom floor has all closed up as far as curtains go. And then this is a little court, and you guys won't believe it, but okay, so this little court here, I think when we have our march through today and tomorrow, we'll stop here and we'll do our little speeches right in this court. And guess what it's called? Joan of Arc Court. So Nico made me a AI picture, and he pictured me as Joan of Arc, and I just thought, oh my God, here we are. Things in life, when you get on your path, truly do align. And I'm really looking forward to coming to the Joan of Arc Court today, tomorrow, and in the future to shed light on what is happening in our Canadian municipalities and to fix this country. You know, I have been working really hard to get deputation templates ready with all the main points, with the most persuasive arguments and resources and references that we can bring forward into our councils to turn this around, because this 30 years of sustainable development has ruined our small towns, has driven the people into the cities, has caused homelessness and housing and mental health and healthcare crises, and we see the results of it. And just now when I watch these committee meetings, I can see that as soon as our municipalities partner with this program right here, they start making all of our strategic plans and doing the surveys. Again, this is right in Ottawa. The United States Embassy is right there. So if you're wondering, if you lay awake at night and wonder what the hell is wrong with our country and what needs to be done to fix it, we need to address this problem. And that's why we're here today in Ottawa. And we'll be outside of West Block. I'll be outside of West Block. I don't know how many people are coming. I was really slow to get invitations out, and you know, I'm one person and trying to do a lot of things. And thankfully there's some amazing people helping to take the information I've been putting out and put it into better order so that it can be easier to follow step by step, so we can get these deputations in. Because you know what they're doing is they're giving presentations to our committees in our municipalities and for educational purposes, and they're making recommendations for and providing information for decision making. We need to do that too. So that's why we need to get these packages ready, so all across Canada we can go in with the same message, localize it to what is happening on our council's agendas, and bring it forward that a motion was passed between now and 1994 when this program started, and there's other programs we need to look at, and we find the motion, because we can find the year on their website that our municipality partnered. We find, and then we take that information, we contact the clerk, and we get them to find the original motion, and we bring forward our information on this program and how it's affecting our local municipalities. And we've had 30 years of it, and it's not working. And give them what the true definition of sustainable development is according to these guys, according to their own rationale and their own definitions, and lay it before them and say, you have the power. The only way to change is if the council puts forward a motion to rescind their partnership with this program, and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, most likely, because if you look at their website, they're pumping out nothing but sustainable development policies. And if you think that that word is a good word, we can have a discussion about that at some point, because there's true sustainability, and then there's sustainable development, as coined in the Brundtland Commission, stating that land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset controlled by individuals, and therefore public control of land use is indispensable. And ever since that time, since we started adopting sustainable development policy, not sure what happened there. I'll come back on the screen. Sorry, guys. Looks like Facebook is having a hard time loading. We'll see if it can catch up. And if not, we'll just jump on to the events that happened today after this, after I grabbed my coffee and headed to West Block. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's not. It's not loading. Okay. So what I'm going to do. So what I was saying there is that there's a difference between true sustainability and sustainable development, as coined in the Brundtland Commission, which states that land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset controlled by individuals, and therefore public control of land use is indispensable. And we've seen the results of that over 30 years, where our rural towns have been downgraded to villages, have been downgraded to hamlets, have been downgraded to ghost towns, and our properties that have been in our families for generations have had to be sold because we were no longer allowed to sever a piece off to give to sell or to give to our children, and they end up being bought up by foreign investors, and there's many examples of that, and we end up all being driven into the selected settlement areas, as they put it, and those are the cities, and the cities are overwhelmed with housing issues. There's not enough housing for everyone. The rent is too high. There's a homelessness crisis. There's mental health crisis. There's a drug addiction crisis. There's healthcare crisis. And it's all a result of sustainable development and the official plans that are being drafted for our municipalities that are based on sustainable development, which restrict private property rights, drive future population growth into settlement areas, and they're all being done in consultation with the United Nations ICLEI Canada program from the and implemented by and brought to our municipalities by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and their Partners for Climate Protection program. So this program is completely voluntary, and our municipalities, our councils who hold who hold the authority of that municipality. They hold decision-making authority over that municipality. They can put forth, we can bring that motion to them and get them to reconsider it based on 30 years of the results, and to show them and to lay it out. And what I'm going to do now is I'll take you to an online deputation, a 10-minute deputation that you can do in your municipality. And I'm showing people how to do this. And this deputation, I've, since uploading it 2 days ago, have been drafting the speaker notes so that we can make it even more effective. So you can go in and tailor it to the agenda items that you will find easily on your council's agenda if they're partnered with these programs. Oh, there we go. I've turned to hamlets. I've turned to ghost towns. Properties that were in families for generations. Okay, I need to stop here. There we go. Sorry, I have a lot of tabs open on my screen right now. Okay, so I'll show you that deputation that is kind of a draft, but it is available for you. You can download this slideshow. You can read the notes that I have there on it. You can print it off, you can practice it, and then you can start looking at your town's agenda and calling the clerk and figuring out how to get on that agenda. So I have a call coming in right now, but I'm going to share the screen so you can watch this deputation. And I know it might seem boring, guys, but this is how things are done in a municipality. These seemingly meaningless rules, like making recommendations to councils and how that is properly done. So let's get this up. Background in ecosystem management. There you go. Hello, my name is Maggie Braun. I have a background in ecosystem management, and this is an online deputation to all Canadian municipalities on the FCM, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, ICLEI, International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives, Partners for Climate Protection Program, or PCP. Its origin and aim: supporting rationale, other considerations, benefits and disadvantages, and recommendations. 2 years after Canada signed on to Agenda 21, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities created the Partners for Climate Protection Program and sent a municipal primer to all Canadian municipalities, promoting sustainable development through local strategic action. Sustainable development is a term coined in the Brundtland Commission, stating that land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset controlled by individuals, and public control of land use is indispensable. On page 9 of the municipal primer is a flow chart showing how Agenda 21 would be implemented through Canadian municipalities. This is a blueprint for achieving sustainable development. Notice the means of implementation: promoting education, public awareness and training, and information for decision-making. The Partners for Climate Protection Program is a means of implementation, providing information for decision-making based on Agenda 21 or UN directives. The PCP program offers tools, networking venues and events, case studies, and other informational resources, and access to the PCP Secretariat, who offers coaching and technical assistance. The supporting rationale for the program is that it is well established that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and these pose a serious threat to our natural environment, our health, our jobs, and our economy, and that Canada is committed to limiting the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius, according to the Paris Agreement. The Municipal Primer of 1994 states that human activities have resulted in changes in global climate and are expected to do so in the future. and that a lack of scientific certainty shall not be used as a reason for postponing sustainable development. Let's jump ahead 30 years and consider the World Climate Declaration, signed by almost 1,900 scientists, stating that there is no climate change emergency. Climate science should be less political, while climate policy should be more scientific. Scientists should openly address uncertainties and exaggerations in their predictions of global warming, while politicians should dispassionately count the real cost as well as the imagined benefits of their policy measures. The following slides are a combination of direct quotes from the World Climate Declaration and peer-reviewed studies with references. Only 0.3% of published scientists stated in their papers that recent warming was mostly man-made. Natural factors, as well as anthropogenic factors, cause climate change. The Earth's orbit and tilt drive glacial and interglacial changes. The Geological Archive reveals that the Earth's climate has varied as long as the planet has existed. The Little Ice Age ended as recently as 1850. Therefore, it is no surprise that we are experiencing a period of warming. This research alone would suggest that human activities have little impact on the global climate compared to natural factors. And because of these factors, it is not possible to limit the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. The world has warmed significantly less than predicted by the IPCC, that is, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the main source of research for the Partners of Climate Protection Program. The gap between the real world and the modeled world tells us we are far from understanding climate change. These models exaggerate the effect of greenhouse gases. CO2 is not a pollutant. It is the basis of all life on Earth. CO2 is not the primary greenhouse gas. Water vapor is. CO2 makes up only 0.04% of the Earth's atmosphere. And the warming effect of CO2 declines as its concentrations increase. The IPCC models also ignore the benefits of additional CO2 in the atmosphere. CO2 is plant food, and additional CO2 in the air promotes growth in the global plant biomass. More CO2 means moisture soil worldwide. It is profitable for agriculture, increasing the yields of crops worldwide. Global warming has not increased natural disasters. There is no statistical evidence that global warming is intensifying natural disasters or making them more frequent. Most of Antarctica is cooling and gaining ice. Extreme heat events are declining. Forest fires are declining in the 19th century. And there's a long-term decline in hurricanes hitting the United States. The frequency of extreme tornadoes are also declining, as well as droughts worldwide. There are more polar bears today than 50 years ago. And warmer weather means fewer temperature-related deaths, and that is because the cold kills far more people than the heat every year. Again, there is no statistical evidence that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events or posing a serious threat to our natural environment, our health, our jobs, or our economy. And I would state that a lack of scientific certainty should be used as a reason for postponing sustainable development. There is ample evidence that CO2 mitigation measures are as damaging as they are costly. Climate policy must respect both scientific and economic realities. There is no climate emergency, therefore, there is no cause for panic or alarm. We strongly oppose the harmful and unrealistic net zero CO2 policy proposed for 2050. Go for adaptation instead of mitigation. Adaptation works, whatever the causes are. We've already gone over the benefits of the program, and of course, it's free, so what's the catch? Official plans based on sustainable development restrict private property rights, restrict severances, limit mobility, drive future population growth to selected settlement areas, reduce the tax revenue for smaller municipalities, and this leads to reduced services. We've seen the results of this with our towns being downgraded to villages, our villages to hamlets, our hamlets to ghost towns, rural homes abandoned, the land left unoccupied, and bought up by foreign investors. Municipal plans drafted by the PCP will have an emphasis on UN directives, so-called sustainable development, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and gender diversity and inclusion, which they are incorporating into the municipal climate action plans. Adopting PCP compliant plans will bind the council and municipality to UN directives. Council's decision-making options will be limited to UN directives. This will cost council, committee, and staff time and wages. Council will be asked to endorse and commit public funds to private sustainable development goals, and councillors who oppose the UN directives will face the Integrity Commissioner, would now be bound to the UN directives. Public consultation will be limited to UN directives. Our public surveys will be limited to UN directive options. Pick your top 3 sustainable development action items. Does that sound like a choice? Deputations will be denied if opposed to the UN directives. See the letter from the City of Orillia. The deputation is denied because the city considers its decision-making options under the broad umbrella of these United Nations directives. Thankfully, the PCP program is completely voluntary. You can leave the program at any time and you do not have to join. The council is the governing body of the municipality, the custodians of its power. The Partners for Climate Protection program is asking council to endorse a motion to bind the council's decision-making options to United Nations directives. This choice is completely up to you. Our recommendation is that the council not support any motion to participate in the Partners for Climate Protection program. And if you've already joined, we recommend that council support a motion to reconsider and rescind the original motion. For an example, see the City of Thorold's motion for February 7th, 2023. With that, I thank you for your time and consideration. And if you have any questions, reach out to me at gather2030@protonmail.com and gather2030.substack.com for more information on UN directive programs. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, let me turn that on. It just auto plays. There we go, guys. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so that's an example of an effective deputation with very clear recommendations. And I wanted to say that last Thursday, Councillor Jim Handley in Thorold was the first councillor in Canadian history that we know of to put forward a notice of motion to opt out of the Partners for Climate Protection program. So this is what we need to see all across Canada. We need to see councillors receive this information so that they can bring the original motion up for reconsideration. This is how the UN is getting into our municipalities. One piece of paper at a time. Let me show you. You know how they're doing it? One piece of paper. This is the joining resolution to join with the Partners for Climate Protection program. And you know what it says? That the municipality, that they can leave at any time. This is not mandatory. Nobody is forcing them to do this, but the councillors are elected and they're new and they don't know that the municipality has partnered, that the council has partnered, with this program, and that is why they are bound to UN directives. So again, that presentation, I'm already in the middle of completely revising it, so it's less slides, so that the speaker notes will be there. People can print it out and do these deputations. And I'm going to show you just the rough draft of the step-by-step guide. Actually, no, I'm going to show you the rough draft of the script. So you can see, okay, when you're looking at your city's agenda, how are you going to get in and do a deputation? You're going to go and you're going to look at their environmental reports. Let me get me on the screen here too. You're going to go in, you're going to look at their environmental reports. You're going to look for things like where it talks about net zero by 2050 and the actions required to achieve net zero by 2050, vague references to targeting mobility, things like your city declaring a climate emergency and participating in ICLEI Canada's programs and projects and receiving grants from ICLEI Canada, and talking about how wonderful COVID-19 was at modifying our travel patterns. Okay, you're going to find those things and you're going to put them in and bring them up at the beginning of your deputation. And then you're going to note that the council of the corporation of the city, of your city, has adopted a motion to join this program, and you give them the date and you provide the original motion in your package of your deputation, and then you're going to go into it. The origin of this program began 2 years after Canada signed on to UN Agenda 21, and that the Federation of Canadian Municipalities created the Partners for Climate Protection program and sent a municipal primer to all our municipalities subtitled Promoting Sustainable Development Through Local Strategic Action. You're going to define sustainable development. And you're going to show them page 9 of the municipal primer with a flow chart of how they will be, and they even say it, how they will implement Agenda 21 through local Canadian municipalities. Okay, and then you're going to go into their supporting rationale. Okay, so they're saying it's well established that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and Canada committed to limiting the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. Those are the two points in their supporting rationale. Those are the only two things that we need to be talking about, and we have more than enough evidence 30 years later for them to consider, like the World Climate Declaration and a whole bunch of published papers that aren't based on inaccurate computer models, that everyone knows already that the Earth's orbit and tilt drive glacial and interglacial changes. The Geological Archive shows that the Earth's climate has always varied, and basically that it's impossible to limit the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. Not to mention the fact that CO2 isn't a pollutant. It makes up 0.04% of the Earth's atmosphere, and its warming effect declines as its concentration increases. All well-established scientific facts. Same with this one. CO2 is plant food. More CO2 increases moisture in the soil and adds to the global plant biomass. And we go on and on and on. We break down their little argument, okay? And then we say, we've already covered the benefits of the program, and of course it's free, so what's the catch, right? And then we tell them how this affects their municipal plans, how this affects their official plans, how this affects their own ability to make decisions in the best interest of the public, as opposed to private sustainable development goals, and how it's affecting their decision-making options. And then we tie it back into the agenda item and we say, hey guys, looks like you're targeting our mobility. Isn't that a violation of our mobility rights? And then we go into it. Further considerations: regardless of Canada being a UN member, no level of government has the authority to implement foreign mandates, policies, treaties, or any agreement that violate the Canadian Constitution, and so on, and conspiring with foreign powers to assist in any act preparatory to the takeover of our nation is an act of treason, according to Section 46(1) of the Canadian Criminal Code. And then we remind them, thankfully, this program is completely voluntary and they can make a motion at any time to leave. And we remind them of their authority, that the council is the governing body of the municipality, the custodians of its powers, and that the councillors have a duty to protect the integrity of their positions by simply not endorsing any motions to participate in UN directive programs. And we remind them they are the government, not the city staff, and they have the power and the authority. And that we want to support them in stepping into their authority because it's been taken from them. And when it's taken from them, they no longer can protect us. And it's getting to the point that we really need them to step up. And you know what we're going to start hearing? Just like we did in Duro-Dummer, the counselor there, I think we should listen to the points that were brought forward in the deputation. I think it's time we stand and be counted. That is what the counselor said. They admitted and agreed this official plan is a death sentence to our municipality, and so on. So then we will make our recommendations very clear moving forward from now on. This is the format councils need to see our recommendations made in. We recommend that council direct staff to locate any motions to participate in any UN directive program. So I'm actually working on a list of all the UN directive programs so we can name them so that it's a lot more, so we can make it really clear for them, okay? And we want them to bring these motions back up to be reconsidered by council now that we've given them all this information, okay? And then we remind them that there's notices of liability should they not do anything with this. And we remind them that we ask them to consider these recommendations, consider the people that are there to support your deputation and these recommendations, and all the good people across this country who lay awake at night wondering what has happened to our country and what needs to be done to fix it. And then you come in there prepared to take any questions. Okay, guys? That's what we need to do. We need to build up our information database to attack these arguments. This is what we're up against. Their supporting rationale. That's it, guys. The Paris Agreement, which wants to do the impossible and stop the Earth from moving through its orbit. Basically, we cannot limit the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. You know, we just can't. So with that, I hope that that was helpful. I thank you all for watching. I'm looking forward. So tomorrow in Ottawa, I'll take you to my Facebook here, show you some stuff. Oh, please don't. Facebook keeps kicking me out. Why? Yeah, it kicked me out again. That's annoying. Okay, well, I guess I can't show you that. Anyway, tomorrow in Ottawa, we're meeting at the King's Gate at 12. We're going to have some amazing speakers. Let me just pull up the names here. We're going to have Howard, our amazing sign guy and faithful Wellington Street regular. He's the main organizer for the event, as well as Johnny Rowe. I will be speaking, as well as Christine McPherson. She is from the National Citizens Inquiry. We will have Dr. Regina Wattell. She's written an amazing book, and I can't wait to hear more about it. Actually, it was just a parliamentarian brought it up in the House yesterday, I believe, and it just caused, it really has these guys on the run. Can't wait to hear more and to read her book. Jay Nara, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dr. Mary O'Connor, Tom Harris. He is from Ottawa, and he is been doing a lot of work sharing information about climate change for a long time. So can't wait to meet him in person. Brian Dirksen, the trucker who never left. Rob Stocky will be there as well. And we will do speeches. We will do a march. We will take some great pictures. And we are going to do a march to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Partner for Climate Protection Program. We're going to go back to that beautiful courtyard, the Joan of Arc courtyard, and have some better acoustics, because today we did our video and our live with a speech in front of West Block, and it was windy and something was wrong with the audio, but I'm hoping the audio is really good tomorrow in that courtyard. And there'll be a march. So if you're in the Ottawa area, feel free to come on down, and let's just keep getting this information out there. So again, you can join Gather 2030 for some more information, and just keep an eye on things. It's the templates are being revised all the time. So you're just going to have to bear with us as we get organized. And if you would like to help draft, if you would like to help if you see that there is a need and that you want to help with something, please reach out to me. I'm very happy to let people do what they want with this information and make it better, and to create public awareness campaigns of whatever kind you want. And again, I'll remind you, on Friday nights, I have a meeting at 7:00 on Zoom. So subscribe and you will get an invitation to that meeting, and we can have some great discussion there, and answer questions and share our knowledge, because there's councillors and mayors coming to the meetings as well. So they have information that I don't have, and we're all learning together as we carry on here. So that, me and Orca's already in bed, as you can see. So I'm going to just go over my speech for tomorrow and shorten it down and have a good night's sleep. So thank you for watching, and please have a great night, and we will see you on a live stream tomorrow, I'm sure. Good night, all. Oh, maybe I'll leave you with a song, even though it'll probably get me in trouble. As far as copyright goes, I think what I have to say is I do not own the copyright for this song, but I know you guys will love it. So let me share screen. Nothing like a good happy song to make us feel good before we go to bed. Add some humor to it all. I do not own the copyright this song.
Come on, guys, let's go. Let's do it.
This is Greg Wycliffe.
And I got my organically sourced. Climate change. Open up your wallets to make weather change around the world. Climate change. Turn all of the lights off to save every boy and every girl. Climate change. It's last call for gasoline, so you won't need your car from here. Climate change. Let the children skip school. We'll be dead in 10 years. Yeah. United Nations knows what's best for me. United Nations. Nations knows what's best for you. United Nations knows what's best for me, and they need money. Climate change. If you deny the science, you'll be blamed for every hurricane. Climate change. Let's stop the big polluters, but be sure to never mention their names. So gather up your plastics, forget that China exists, and go to Starbucks all the same. Climate change, 'cause global warming didn't stick. So here's some 16-year-old with braids. Yeah. United Nations knows what's best for me. United Nations knows what's best for you. United Nations knows what's best for me, and they need money.
I do not own the copyright to this song.
Action now for the planet. For the planet. For the planet. For the children. We need climate change. We need climate change. Change the climate now. Climate action now. Right now. We want climate change now. Listen to Greta. Climate change. Time for you to shut up, pay more taxes, and eat more bugs. United Nations knows what's best for me. United Nations knows what's best for you. United Nations knows what's best for me, and they need money. Climate change. Global warming didn't stick, so here's some 16-year-old with braids.
Reminder to get your I Love Canadian Oil and Gas stickers before you're not allowed to use it anymore.
Science or not?
Which we still will, right, guys?
Do you believe
We have
in
a
science
duty
or not?
to civil disobedience.
Hi.
And that's Greg.
If you want to support more content like this, then like this video, subscribe. It doesn't
And
cost
he
anything
has
to
some
subscribe,
great
and it really helps me
content
out. If
there.
you really like the video,
Okay. How do I stop sharing? I don't know where that went. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good night. See some of you tomorrow on the hill. Bye.